Welcome to the TSD Mindfulness video for teaching number 16. Teaching number 16 is concentration on the physical environment. I've heard people say after they get started with me in trainings is that they had no idea that mindfulness was so much about focusing on the physical environment. The average person that thinks they know about mindfulness doesn't know this. they have some other ideas of what mindfulness might be, but that's really a real basic way to think about mindfulness is it's taking a moment and focusing on the physical environment. So think about for a moment, if you would, what are some of the physical elements of our environment that you could focus on during your meditation. And this is called single-pointed focus. When we are meditating and focusing on a particular sound or something particular, then we call this single-pointed focus. So some examples might be birds chirping, a fan blowing. I've had many meditations just simply listening to my HVAC system. Been very wonderful meditations. The sound of your own breath, a body ache, something that you can notice and even focus on during a meditation if that works for you. Sensation of physical pressure or tightness. So any kind of physical sensation. Temperature of the air on an inhale versus on an exhale. Tickling sensation in your nostrils. Movement of your chest during breathing. So movement, just being still, but then also noticing the subtle ways that your body is moving. If your eyes are open and you're looking at an object, you might notice the texture of an object, the value changes of the object, the shadows, the light parts, the colors and the shapes of an object. There's so many different things going on in our physical world that we could take a look at or notice during our meditation. And I shared a handout from a previous class called Object Descriptors. And so that handout basically is a list of all of these different types of words that we could use to describe some of these things that we can notice in our physical environment. For example, sound. The object descriptors invite you to notice the pitch of the sound, notice the loudness, the volume of the sound, and so forth. So that can be really helpful. Do you know the difference between single-pointed focus and open awareness? Because in mindfulness, those are the two techniques for our sitting meditation, is we're either using single-pointed focus or we're using open awareness. And then they say someone with an advanced practice is doing both at the same time. So I want to make sure that you understand what those two practices are. I know I've been talking a lot about single-pointed focus. I've been leading you through single-pointed focus during the meditation that correlates with these particular classes. But let me go over this. So open awareness is just noticing whatever comes into your experience. So opposed to single-pointed focus, which is picking something and focusing on it. Open awareness is sitting there and noticing, oh, there's a sound of a truck going by, just kind of came into my awareness. Okay. Oh, I'm feeling a little frustrated with my practice right now, noticing an emotion. Oh, okay, that's something I'm noticing. Oh, I'm noticing a tightness in my shoulder. So whatever it is that comes into your awareness, it could be a thought. Oh, I'm thinking about what I need to go buy at the store. So it's just basically sitting there, seeing your consciousness as like a movie screen, maybe, and whatever's coming onto that screen is one way to think about it. So that's open awareness. But single-pointed focus is, like I said, focusing on one thing. I consider that single-pointed focus is more the yang, and the open awareness is more the yin. So that yang, really focused, dialed in on something, the hunter, right? And then the yin is just kind of open and noticing what is there. I think single pointed focus is more efficient. That's my personal opinion. That's one of the reasons that I teach it primarily, especially for beginners and especially for people with attention issues. I have a history of having ADHD, which feel that I've pretty much cured with my mindfulness practice, extended, hour meditation every single day for months and months, a real dedication. So the single point of focus is good for beginners, good for people who struggle with attention. It is a little bit more straightforward, and I think it's more efficient, meaning I get to a deeper place in my meditation more quickly. That's me. But some people really enjoy that open awareness. And like I said, when you're truly doing what one would refer to as a mindfulness practice, you're doing both. So a typical situation would be someone is having a single pointed focus attention on their breath, but at the same time open to whatever thoughts are coming, whatever physical sensations are coming up, and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and show a handout for the single pointed focus. So this first part just is a little explanation of how to do the practice, specifically really understanding the ebb and flow of your practice, meaning that you are going to be focused on whatever it is that you choose to be focused on, and then you're going to lose your focus, and that's okay. That's part of the pattern, the part of the rhythm of it. And then the better you get, you are going to realize you lost concentration, and then you're just going to gently bring your attention back. So that's, for the most part, what those paragraphs are talking about. But this illustration shows this practice really well. So you see there the meditator with the mental field, the heart field, and the gut field. And this might be some words that you might speak to yourself while you are practicing this as a beginner. As you get more advanced, you might not talk yourself through this as much, but it can be very helpful to develop your concentration to use these words to name what's going on. So this person is noticing chest movement. So this person's noticing their breath. They're probably noticing how their breath is moving their chest. The cool temperature on inhale. So they're taking the inhale and they're noticing how that's cool. They're noticing the warm exhale, how the exhale is a little bit warmer in temperature. They might notice the tickling sensation in their nostrils. All right. And then this other side on the right, now the meditator is more focused on the physical body. They're noticing the cool air touching their face. They're noticing the textured clothing touching their skin. They're noticing a tense muscle in their back. They're noticing a dull ache in their chest. So I think it's fine to use those descriptors, the dull, tense, textured, cool. I highly suggest using those descriptors, which are in the object descriptor page. But stay away from words such as this is pleasant or this is unpleasant or I like this or I don't like this. We want to be as neutral as possible. And so whether you use open awareness or single pointed focus, it's always important to notice the quality of your attention. So that's something that we went over in a previous video, the quality of attention. So what kind of attention are you bringing to the moment? And this is used for single pointed focus and open awareness. Am I bringing judgment to my attention? Am I emotional? Do I have more equanimity, which is more non-emotional? Am I more neutral? Am I task-oriented, which means am I going about my meditation like it's a task, like it's this checklist. I'm going through these things, which it's good to notice if you're doing that, because you're probably going to get a little bit more out of the meditation if you're just sitting with it and not thinking of it so much like a checklist. So those are some different quality of attention. So either way, good to check in with that. And as far as will, we are not using our will to control our thinking. We're not using it to resist emotions or push our experience away. it's something that might surface during our meditation. Will is only used to direct our attention and keep us physically on the meditation cushion. So again, I'll say that your will, you're only using your will to direct your attention. So that means maybe you lost your focus, and then you're using your will to bring your focus back. And you're using your will to keep your body on the cushion, right? Because half of us usually just want to get up and go do something, but use your will to say, no, I'm sitting on this cushion. So hopefully that will help you with your open awareness and your single-pointed practice. And in the meditation that goes along with meditation number 5, I will be leading you through an open awareness meditation.